pick up either some gasket maker or Rosine's rear axle, because we're going to be working on changing out her differential fluid today, along with a little bit of other footage. But that's going to be the first thing on our list. So we're going to get on over to AutoZone here, see what we can get for a gasket, because she already bought all the fluid for it a different time and we didn't end up using it. So let's get on over here and see if we can get that stuff that we need and get on back to the shop and into changing that fluid out. And we might even be able to call the winner for this truck today, depending on his work schedule. Make sure you check out our Instagram and you follow us there, because that's usually where we make those announcements first, so that everybody can find out who won, and that way we can at least get the information out there and not so many people have to be so anxious anymore, and they can find out who won. Hopefully this will work for what we need. It sounds like it's what we need. 1 minute gasket maker, black, and it says it's good for like oil pans and differential stuff and whatever, so it should be good. It says high flexibility, oil resistant, ideal for domestic and older vehicles, which is definitely what Rosine is. She's definitely domestic and she's older. Well, we made it back over to the shop here, the house. We're gonna be firing up Rosine. I want to address this phone cord that's just running up out of the head unit and just straight up and down, so let's get that fixed up too for her. It is hot out here, fam. It is a scorcher. I mean, it is, I think it's already 90 degrees and it's like 9:15 in the morning. It's freaking hot. It is hot, that's for sure. So the first thing I actually want to do on this truck is work on the mic situation. It's not like the most crucial thing in the world, but that just does not look clean, and it doesn't sit right with me. So I'm gonna see if there's some way I can hide it behind this trim. That's what I'm gonna try to go for. Okay, so the mic is right here on the visor, and I think she's got it wrapped around the mirror. How many times are in the mirror, I don't know. Oh, that's just once. That might not be such a bad thing either. So she's got this dash top on here, which isn't the original one. I'm guessing her old dash cracked to pieces, and then the previous owner put a new dash top on this. But it's a little bit warped right here. That's a little better. Much better. I closed that garage door back there because it was the barn door, because it was getting pretty freaking annoying. But the mic is sitting directly behind the wheel, assuming that the driver's the one having the phone call. This dash top is kind of warped, and it's just the top, because you can see where the vent holes are like cut out and stuff to go over top of the old one. I've never seen the original one, because this dash top has been on it since she bought the truck, and I've never bothered to take it off. It doesn't fit great. That would be a nice interior modification to do at some point here, is to get a better fitting dash top and get everything snug, just because that's kind of annoying. But the mic's going to be staying there for now, because when I pulled everything out, it didn't hardly reach over to the monitor, even with all the slack wire I could pull. So yeah, that's where it's going to go for now. But at least for now, she doesn't have all these wires dangling from the mirror, and then going from the mirror, a wire dangling going up to the visor, and you know what I mean? It was just kind of messy. This should be totally fine right there. We do have everything we need for the rear diff, and let me show you what all we've got. I've got a Milwaukee impact gun to take the bolts out very carefully. Be careful with those, because these don't need that much torque. I think they only need like between 25 and 35 foot-pounds. So be careful with that, but I'm going to use that to extract the bolt. Ratchet, razor to get the excess gasket off the diff once we get the cover off. The right stuff, gasket maker, it's the black stuff. Rust-Oleum paint with some painter's tape, because once I'm done with this, I'm going to mask off the shock absorbers and part of the exhaust tip and paint the rear axle, because that's the only thing on the entire truck that I did not get to coating yet. And I didn't get to coating it yet specifically because I was planning on doing this video, which is going to require me to take that off, and I didn't know if it would chip it up or whatever. And So I just wanted to wait until I got the fluids done, so that way if I coat it up with paint, it's good to go for the next, you know, however many thousands of miles until we do it again. I got some shop towels in case things get messy. We got the gear oil we need. So let's get to doing this, and hopefully the process goes smooth. If you've got everything in front of you ready to go, it's really probably a pretty quick process. I haven't done a rear diff in about a year since I've done one on a truck. But you know, she's driven this truck a decent amount of miles since she's had it in high school, and we have not yet done this. So I thought it would be a good time, if we're gonna be doing a little project with this thing, to just get it done. So let's set the camera up and get to it. Having to use a pocket knife to have a thin enough metal object to get in between this axle and the diff cover. So tried to use a flathead screwdriver, starting at the top, obviously, just in case it warped the cover at all. It would be at the very top, not the bottom, and wasn't getting anywhere. Didn't make a single crack, didn't budge anything. So then I got this pocket knife of mine, and starting to get a little progress. So now I can probably use the flathead since it's cracked open. Oh. Missing the container there. So here's the rear diff. We got a small razor blade and we cleaned up all the uneven rubber gasket that was left over from somebody else actually already doing it before. Everything appears to be in decent shape in there. The fluid wasn't terrible. If you want to take a look at this, I mean, it's dirty, obviously. It's in the rear axle of the truck working and stuff, but it's still got a little bit of a golden look to it. It's not like completely like a black abyss, like horribly nasty gear oil. It definitely is going to get changed, obviously, anyhow. So let's get to letting this drip a little bit more and then prepping our rear cover and getting that ready to go back on. But there it is. Still got some rubber gasket we got to take off there. We didn't work on that yet, but you can see there's that magnet in the rear, and that's supposed to catch any kind of metal shavings that slowly get worked off the gears in that rear axle over time. I mean, you can see there's some metal shavings on there. I don't know what's considered like really bad and not that bad, but all I know is there's no way you're gonna have those gears in there spinning around for 270,000 miles and not have, you know, some wear. I mean, it's just gonna happen. Even on new trucks, there's a little bit of wear. You just don't know it unless you check your rear diff and check the magnet in there. But yeah, I mean, everything seems to be running totally fine. It's just, you know, it's wear and tear. It's old stuff. Let's get to cleaning this up and getting it slapped back on the truck. We were able to get that fluid changed out, get the axle painted up. I just finished painting it, so it's not completely dry yet. Looks pretty darn good. I did both sides of the axle, of course. When it's dry, it's gonna look like that flat black color. You can kind of see the back of the axle I painted there in the underside of it. It's gonna look like that when it's done. So that's what it looks like dry. And that is all I had to work on with Rosine today. So now let's get into the next segment. What is going on, guys? So we're gonna be going down the road here. We just got the diff fluid changed out in this thing, the cover on, and it doesn't appear to have any kind of leaks or anything. I mean, that sealant's pretty good stuff. I'm gonna be doing a Q&A, and I thought we got this new GoPro. Let's do a Q&A going down the road and see if you guys like that. Usually I'll just do Q&As. I just throw a chair in the barn and throw a camera on my ladder and, you know, film the video. But I thought maybe this would be a good change in pace, and maybe you guys would like this. Hey, guys to drop these questions about 5 days ago now when you see this video go up. Who won the OBS 7.3? The actual name of the guy was just released. I actually just got the email. He said his name is Josh Bassford, and he's out of Auburn, Illinois. Crazy thing is, the 7.3 actually came out of Illinois. It did come out of Auburn, Illinois. I don't know where that's at. I've never been there, but it did come out of Illinois. I don't know if we've had an Illinois winner before or not. I feel like we might have had one before, but I'm not positive. The drawings are completely random, non-biased drawings, and no employees, no staff, no family, no business associates, etc. can win the giveaways. It's only customers that are unrelated and unassociated with the business in terms of working for the business or with the business in any way. So it's completely fair, non-biased. Next question, what is the 0 to 60 time in the 3rd gen? We did a video of that the other day, and it wasn't probably the best representation because it was a 2-wheel drive 0 to 60. Not only was it 2-wheel drive, that thing painted lines the entire way 0 to 60 until I let off, and then like balanced out how much throttle I was giving it. It just, if you looked in the video and you looked at the slowed down shots where I zoomed in, and you could literally see it leaving 2 black lines all the way down the road. It's hard to get like a really good 0 to 60 without 4-wheel drive engaged, and you know, your tires actually not spinning the entire time. So, you know, it's just the way it was. But the truck did about 7 seconds one time and about 7.5 seconds the other 2 times. But I think that truck with 4-wheel drive, great conditions, on a nice flat stretch section of road, I bet you that truck can do 6.5 seconds pretty easy with no tuning done yet. With tuning, I'm not sure. When are you doing the next truck meet? That's a good question. We don't have the next truck meet scheduled. The last time we did one was last September, and it was a lot of fun. But, you know, I didn't really come properly prepared for what you guys were really wanting, because when we did the meet, I was thinking it was going to be, I don't know what I was thinking, honestly. I'm not even going to lie. I had no idea what I was doing. All I know is I was like, hey, let's do a meet here. We're just going to hang out, have some fun. We're going to bring some merch to sell and, you know, just have a good time. But it was also a Trump rally, so I was like, it'll be a good opportunity to kind of break up the meet when it goes from like meet to then like right after that having another event to attend. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a blast seeing everybody's trucks out there, everybody doing the burnouts. But that parking lot, right after we did that meet, they had to completely repave that whole section of parking lot because it was so bad. This is the most liked comment on this entire post. It says, what is your favorite truck you have ever owned? And man, I feel like I've given this answer a lot of times, and I feel like each time I give it, I can't remember if it's the same truck or not that I talk about. One of my favorite trucks is the white 12 valve that we just gave away 2 giveaways ago. It was a 92 that my dad picked up with an insurance check that he got from people, you know, stealing some ATVs from us, and so we ended up picking that truck up with that, and that was the first video I ever filmed on YouTube, on my truck YouTube, not my outdoors YouTube. I was doing that for a couple years already. But the first truck YouTube video I ever filmed, probably my #1 favorite truck that I've ever owned was the one that I bought off my dad and gave away. Favorite one is probably that white one. Second favorite was probably the black limited 5th gen dually that I had for about 6 or 7 months. Then I gave away to actually, I thought his name was Jonathan, and he lived in either North or South Carolina. I want to say it was North. I could be wrong. North or South Carolina. It gets kind of blurry, like when you've given away 26 vehicles, it's kind of hard to remember which truck went to which state. I know somebody from North or South Carolina, or both, have won trucks from us. Everybody that saw that truck was like, oh my gosh, that thing is, it was just huge, wide, it was awesome. 2nd gen 24 valve, or 5.9 3rd gen 24 valve. I would have to go 3rd gen. I mean, I like the second gen 24 valves, but here's the thing. The third gens just make a lot more factory power, and they can make a ton more power so easily. All I know is from experience, because I've done some stuff on a couple third gens. One in particular that we did, I mean, just a second gen swap, tuning, and a built trans, and that thing was a ripper. It was freaking awesome. And so I would have to go third gen on that. Somebody asked me, what is the least amount of money somebody has ever spent in a giveaway truck? I don't remember if it was only one person that's done this or not, but Lyle Boone, who won our 55,000 mile first gen 5-speed last year, only spent $12, and I think it was $12.95, and he won that truck plus $5,000 cash. And I was like, so what all did you buy? Because he didn't show up in a t-shirt or hat or like anything of ours really. And he pulled his little keychain out of his pocket with his key on it for his car. He's like, this is all I bought. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? He's like, no. He's like, I just bought a keychain. He's like, I've never entered a giveaway before. I thought, man, I really like first gens. I'll buy a keychain. You know, if I lose, whatever. It's 12 bucks. I get a keychain. It's cool looking. You know, it's not, you know, $12 ain't gonna change my life. Might as well take the chance, you know. And he freaking won the truck. I was like, oh my gosh. GoPro overheated and shut off, so that's why I'm switching over to the iPhone. So, Reagan and I are trying to buy our dream property and build our dream house over in Ohio at some point here. And the reason for selling the Cadillac, you know, there's people that are like, oh, you know, oh, there he goes, he went broke, he had to sell it. No, okay, we didn't, dude, we wouldn't still be giving away trucks every month if we didn't have any money to keep giving them. When people are that shallow, this is what I think. Those are the brokest people you'll ever meet. And I'm not talking about just financial. I'm talking like mentally, integrity-wise, their ability to think. It's just broken. Because like, not everything is what it seems. And I made this post on Instagram and I said, I would rather own everything I own than leverage my way to the top and fake it till I make it. And the thing is, a lot of people don't understand that. Like, I would rather sell the stupid car because Reagan and I are trying to build our dream house and buy our dream property. We want to pay cash for that. And a lot of people think we're nuts. They're like, why would you pay cash for that? Like, just finance it, get it built now, and just pay it off as you go. And I'm thinking, I want to pay cash for it. It's a lot of money. I mean, we're talking our dream house that we don't ever want to move out of it. Like, if we build this house, we buy this property, we don't want to move out of it, you know, and we have a 1-year goal to do that. And our 1-year goal is to have all of the cash to buy this property, which is not in a cheap place to buy land, and pay for the home build in full. It's a big goal, but like, if we're driving around a $60,000 car, that's not helping our goal. So, you know, we were looking at the market right now, and I'm like, Reagan, right now, I'm like, yeah, it's only 60 grand to go towards this big goal of ours, but I'm like, if 60 grand gets us a couple months faster to that goal, let's sell the freaking car. And she's like, well, let's sell it today. We literally got in the truck, went to the dealership, they cut us a check for the car, we walked out with the check, and then we just bought the first thing we could find that we thought would be a reliable car to just throw miles on. And that's why we bought the CR-V, because the guy had it listed for 2-wheel drive pricing, and it's got no rust on it other than a little bit of surface rust underneath. 90,000 miles on it, like super clean interior, like looks brand new still. I would rather have all that cash to go towards our goal than drive around a freaking luxury SUV that right now we can get the most money we can out of it, and we might as well, because it's gone up 10 grand since we bought it, which will never happen ever again in the history of luxury vehicles. You're not going to buy it and put 40,000 miles on it in a year and then make 10 grand on it. It just doesn't happen. And then just bought something real cheap and reliable but still in good shape to replace it, just to rack a bunch of miles on, because you know, the way we drive that car, it's not for business, it's just to drive, it's just to put freaking miles on. And all we do is we use the brake pedal, the throttle pedal, the blinkers, and the air conditioning and the heat. That car has all of that same stuff, It just isn't fancied out with all the leather and the touchscreen and all the nav and all, you know, whatever. But yeah, you know, so that's a little bit of personal information on some of our personal goals, and I feel like it's good to share some of that stuff with you guys, because you guys are, I mean, you guys are a big part of our lives, and you guys are a big part of what we do. Like, we wouldn't be giving away these trucks every month without you guys placing the orders and buying the merch, because you couldn't do it. And so thank you guys so much for that. I'm trying to make the videos better. I'm trying to put more time and effort and energy into these to try to make them as good as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to enter to win our 2005 5.9 Cummins plus $5,000 cash right now, every $1's 20 entries towards winning that truck. But that deal ends in just a couple days, and the 20x entries will be gone, and they will not come back. Usually they come back at the very end of the giveaway. 20x entries will not be back this time. So if you want to get 20x, get in while you can. Place those orders at lnpgear.com, and I'll see one of you guys picking up that truck soon. So thank you guys so much for all the love and support. You guys rock. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.